Have you ever wanted to go to college for free? Doesn't that sound great? Yeah. Did you know that there are several colleges in the United States as well as abroad where Americans can totally study for free? That's exactly what I'm going to talk about in this video. There are several different categories I'm going to cover. The first is free four-year universities in the United States. First on my list is College of the Ozarks in Missouri. Every full-time College of the Ozarks student participates in this on-campus work-study program. And as part of this program, you work 15 hours a week and 2 40-hour work weeks per year. And by doing that, you earn this work credit. And they add that into any federal or state aid that you qualify for. And then they give you a cost of education scholarship to kind of bring you into that last dollar and pay for whatever remains in your education. Next on my list is Curtis Institute of Music in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Curtis is a very elite conservatory for musicians, and only 174 students are enrolled. Tuition is free, but there are student fees as well as room and board costs. Next on my list are military academies. As many of you know, one way to get free money for college is to attend a military school. The U.S. Air Force Academy, the U.S. Coast Guard Academy in Connecticut, the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy in New York, the United States Military Academy in New York, the United States Naval Academy in Maryland. All of these colleges are well-ranked, highly respected, amazing places to get an education. And there's just one catch to the free room and board and free tuition. You will be required to serve in the U.S. military upon graduation. Next on my list is Berea College in Kentucky. Students pay no tuition, no matter who you are. Each student who is admitted is going to receive a tuition promise scholarship, which amounts to more than $176,000 in value over 4 years. Students have to work at least 10 hours per week on campus, which can be used to pay for room and board, as well as books. Those students can use up to $1,000 in outside scholarships also to pay for books. Webb Institute in New York is next on my list. Now, this is a really specialty school. It's an engineering campus, but it only offers one program, which is a dual bachelor's degree in naval architecture and marine engineering. And all enrolled students who are full tuition, U.S. permanent residents or citizens can qualify for full tuition scholarship. They also offer need-based aid for additional costs of attending beyond tuition itself. Next on my list is Barclay College in Kansas. Students at this private Christian college are tuition-free if they live on campus. And this is a religious or parochial school, so it's not ranked by U.S. News & World Report, but there's no tuition. So there you go. Now, all these colleges and universities often require you to fill out the FAFSA and gather as much funding as you can from qualified aid that you are eligible for before they give you the free tuition. So just be aware that you're still going to have to fill out the FAFSA kind of no matter what income level you are at if you want to qualify. But that's kind of the lay of the land. These colleges also may or may not accept international students for free tuition, and you'll need to check into each program. We'll have more information on all of these individual programs on our website, supertutortv.com/college/free. You can read up more detail on everything we're talking about in this video. Next, so my next category of free college is community college. There are many states in the United States that offer free community college programs. There might be some qualification requirements in order to get that free community college. And most of these scholarships are what we call last dollar scholarships. And the idea behind a last dollar scholarship is to sort of meet the gap in educational funding. So they do take into account if you have money and if you have some ability to pay, they will expect you to pay some toward your tuition. So it's not necessarily the same as free college, but I still think it merits consideration because I think a lot of people don't realize that there are resources out there to help you pay for community college. Even if there's a sticker price, if you check into some of these programs, you can actually attend for a very affordable rate, or they will meet 100% of your demonstrated need. Though it's true that schools like Stanford or Harvard or these very highly ranked schools have amazing aid programs in terms of meeting 100% of demonstrated need, it's less common at a lot of other colleges and universities to see that kind of dedication to meeting need. And so these community college programs do that. Some states that you should check out their programs for if you're interested in attending community college and want some of this last dollar scholarship money: Arkansas, California, Connecticut, Delaware, Hawaii, Indiana, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, Massachusetts, Missouri, Montana, New York, Nevada, Oklahoma, Oregon, Rhode Island, Tennessee, Virginia, and Washington. Those are the places with these programs. And of course, each program is a little bit different. There might be eligibility for some of these, and most only cover tuition. Rarely are you going to get room and board scholarships when it comes to community college. Next on my list, Europe. Many people are aware that colleges in Europe are totally free for residents of the EU or the respective countries in which these universities are. However, many people aren't as aware that even if you are a United States citizen, you can qualify for free tuition at many of the colleges in Europe. This is also true if you're an international student from other countries. It just depends on the individual school. Now, when I say it's free tuition, that doesn't mean that you're completely off the hook for any expenses. You're typically required to pay for your own room and board, as well as for books or standard fees. Those fees usually are somewhere under $1,000. It could be a few $100s, like enrollment fees, etc. Countries that you should check out if you want free tuition: Austria, there's no general tuition fees at state universities, but you have to stay on track. You can't study longer than necessary to complete your degree. Germany has free tuition at most all public universities or their state universities that are federally sponsored. And you will be expected to pay some fees that are going to be somewhere in the range of 500 and 650 euro. Again, we're probably under that $1,000 mark, US dollars, per semester or per year. The University of Iceland, students there don't pay tuition, and they only have to pay an annual registration fee of 75,000 krona. And that sounds like a lot, but it's really only about $650. The University of Luxembourg, they're only about 200 euro per term, which is pretty cheap, so I still threw this in here. Even though it's not technically free tuition, it's still pretty cheap. And Norway, the majority of Norwegian universities and state university colleges are publicly funded, and the Norwegian government is going to offer free tuition no matter who you are, if you can qualify to get in. And finally, this one is a little bit of a caveat, which is the Czech Republic. In the Czech Republic, if you study in the Czech language, it is free. But if you study in English, it might not be free. So depending on what you're interested in, Czech Republic might also be a place you can check out. In addition to these colleges that I've mentioned, there's also a few colleges in Europe that have pretty affordable programs that are certainly more affordable than those in the US for most students. So if you are interested in a country I didn't name, it doesn't mean that it's off the table if you're looking for a cheaper education. It just means tuition's probably not free. Cool. Finally, on my list of where college is free, this is where college is free for locals. I'm going to go through some state programs as well as some colleges that have free tuition for local residents. First on my list here is Alice Lloyd College in Kentucky. This is in Central Appalachian service area. And if you live in Kentucky, Ohio, Tennessee, Virginia, or West Virginia in Appalachia, then you can qualify for Alice Lloyd College's free tuition program. So check it out. Warren Wilson College in North Carolina basically has last dollar scholarships for every North Carolina undergraduate. You have to qualify for federal or state need-based grants for some portion of your tuition, but basically Warren Wilson College will meet the rest of your need. And now I'm going to go through some statewide programs that are a little bit broader. In California, the Cal State program has something called the California Promise. It basically is going to provide 100% scholarship coverage of tuition if you are low income, first generation, or from an underrepresented group, and you qualify according to their other parameters. In New York, there's something called the Excelsior program, and this is much more generous than some of these other programs. Your income level just has to be below $125,000 per year for your household to qualify, and this will allow you full tuition at any State University, New York System School, or CUNY school. Indiana has something called the 21st Century Scholars Program. Again, this is something that applies to any kind of state university in Indiana or qualifying private university, but you get a little bit less money for the private colleges. In any case, to qualify, you've got to sign up in 7th or 8th grade, which is super early. And then you have to jump through a bunch of hoops in high school. You have to do these certain programs where you learn about college and you prepare for college, all that kind of good stuff. You have to be low income or at 185% of the federal poverty level to qualify at first. And upon graduation, your family still has to be at 370% or below of the federal poverty level. Finally, Washington State has something called the College Bound Scholarship Program. If you're going to participate in College Bound, you have to be below 65% of the median family income level But again, these are full ride scholarships, so we're not relying on loans, which is cool. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to scholarship money and options for low-income students. We're going to be doing another video on merit scholarships coming up soon. So if you liked this video on where you can go to college for free, get ready because there's more money for college coming up on our channel. Be sure to subscribe so that you can keep in the know. Also, if you're prepping for the SAT or the ACT, be sure to check out our online course at SupertutorTV.com. We've also got a couple of math books on the ACT math section you can find on Amazon. And if you like what you see here, be sure to subscribe because we have lots more free information for you guys to help you as you prepare for college. Thanks again for watching, everybody, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.